What a fabulous morning it is. I am going to be crocheting myself some coasters because I don't have any, but I decided to teach myself do it how to do it left-handed because I'm trying to become a better crochet instructor, and what better way than to take myself right back to the basics where I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm using a 5.5 hook with some cotton yarn, and the center pull is already off to a great start. I have an in-depth tutorial on how to crochet for beginners on my page, so go watch that video before you watch this one. This video is going to be painfully slow, just so you know, because I am right-handed through and through. I do play pool left-handed, but everything else I use my right hand, so this is a little hard, but I did end up getting the hang of it, and I actually learned a few things. So, yeah, according to my last video, I used my pointer finger to control the loop on the hook, and then I used my right index finger to control tension. That was the hardest part I found. And then I used my thumb and my middle finger to control the project. I even had to turn it around because I couldn't even remember how to hold it. I did find a better way um, to do this towards the end of this video that holds the yarn a little bit differently because I was really struggling to hold tension with my right hand. That was the hardest part I found. So here I am trying to do a chain, and it looks like the hook needs to be, oh, okay. So the hook needs to pull the yarn through the loop, which means that I need to turn the hook towards the knot like that so it can go over. All right, there we go. That's my first chain. Not too bad. And my second chain. All right. Well, I spoke too soon because these next few chains, I just couldn't figure it out. I think what the hardest part for me was trying to hold tension like I usually do with my right index finger. So I even like did a few chains to try to remind myself how to crochet. So it looks like I'm holding the entire chain with my thumb and my ring finger. So that's what I'm going to try to do to get some control. I know that holding tension with the working yarn is what I'm struggling with right now. So hopefully if I can control the rest of the project, then it'll be all right. Yeah, that seemed to work a little better, to have control over the whole project. But I really do, like, I started to get cramps in my right hand, in my thumb, and in my right and middle fingers. And this is where I find that beginners struggle the most, is because their beginning chain gets so tight. You're so focused on trying to get the loop over the hook that you're pulling it so tight. And so when you go into your second and your third rows, it's really difficult to get into the chain, and I actually encounter that problem. So this is like the hardest part, starting with the first row. I'm just going to do single crochet. I'm going to follow my tutorial that I have on my channel. And I'm going to insert my hook into the second chain. You'll see I'm even struggling to hold the project. I'm struggling to hold the yarn. I even am getting a little frustrated right now, which is crazy because why am I getting frustrated on my very first attempt at something? So I need to calm down and remember that everything takes time and I will get it. So I'm trying to see what I'm really struggling with here is that I don't use a pencil with my left hand, but that's kind of what you need to insert your hook into the chains is you need the control of a pencil. So I finally got the hook into the first chain, and now I'm going to yarn over, and then I need to pull through with the first loop. But like I even forgot how to do a single crochet. I had to do it with my right hand. I'm also seeing here that I hold the chain, I kind of hold it flat with my middle finger. And so that's what I was also looking for too, so I can see which chain I need to enter into. So yeah, yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, through twice. Those two steps make a single crochet. That was with my right hand, so I'm going to undo it and try again with my left hand. So yeah, I'm really trying to flatten out the chains so I can see them. There we go. So I'm going to try to insert my hook into the second chain, yarn over, pull through once. Oops, I pulled it through twice. So I didn't even do that correctly the first time. Let's try this again. I told you this was painfully slow. Okay, yarn over, pull through once. You got it. Oh. Yarn over, pull through once. Yarn over, and then pull through both loops. Yeah! That was my first single crochet with my left hand. And now I'm going to continue down the row. Nice. So actually, this is where I was struggling because my chain was so tight in the beginning. I'm really having trouble inserting my hook into the next chain because it's so tight. And also this yarn is kind of splitting, so I'm kind of getting frustrated with the yarn too. Loops and threads, please be better. Sugar and cream is better than you, so. And this is where I'm having problems with my yarn splitting. It would be fine if my chain wasn't so tight. So if you are struggling with this, you can even increase your hook size by 1 or 2 when you do your chain, and then switch to a smaller hook for your second and third rows, and that will help you with your tension until you get better. So it was at this point when I realized my beginning chain was just too tight and I didn't have enough control with my left hand to insert the hook. that I kind of got frustrated and I finished the first row with my right hand. Sue me. I did fumble a little bit because I twisted the chains in the beginning a little bit, which you'll see in the final product. But it's not a big deal. I'm just trying to learn with my left hand. I'm not trying to make a coaster that the queen herself will put her tea on. So this starting chain is difficult even with my right hand to get into. But I will prevail. Alright, so now I'm going to start a new row. I'm going to chain one and I'm going to turn my work. And here's where I realize I fumbled a little bit, but I decided to continue on anyways. So the blue foundation chain is where we started, and now we're on to the white. So that is going to be on the top where we're going to be working in towards. This should be a little easier now because the chain should be easier to insert into the hook because they're a little larger. So now I'm going to insert my hook into the first chain, into the first V. So you're going to insert it into both of those loops. I think I only inserted into one loop, so my bad. Do as I say, not as I do left-handed. But I know on this next chain I do get it into both stitches, so just keep with me. See that V that I'm going to insert it into? That's what you want. And it is around this time where my right index finger is really starting to hurt because for the life of me, I can't keep that working yarn tight. I just don't have the control, I think, between my two fingers like I do on my left hand. And maybe that's just from years of crochet, you know? Now, it was around this time where I remembered when I learned how to crochet a chain in the first grade. I actually learned left-handed, and I remembered that I wrapped the yarn around kind of like a knitting needle would, like you would when you were knitting, and you use your right hand to bring over the project. And that seemed to work a lot better with my right hand instead of trying to hold tension like I do with my other hand. I did it like a knitting style. So if you struggle to hold tension, that actually might be a solution. It took a few tries to get it right, but once I started going, it actually got a lot quicker. And I just chain one and turn my work, and this is where I really start to get going because I not only are my chains big enough now to where I don't really have a problem inserting the hook, but now I'm not really cramping because I've found an easier technique to yarn over, even though I can't even hold the project right now. I'm kind of tired at this point. And mind you, it's only been about 45 minutes so far, so it hasn't even been long. So give yourself some grace if you're learning something new. And after I finished about 2.5 rows, I no longer had the desire to continue. I figured out what I needed to figure out, and I was kind of tired. Time for bed. But you can see where I fumbled a little bit. That's where I was switching between my right and left hand there. But I'm really proud of myself for doing it this way and learning a new skill. So I hope you have a fantastic day and get to crocheting. Bye bye.